Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shakayla. I create and share delicious plant-based recipes and inspiration. If you're returning, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. So if you've been following along, you know that in the most recent video that I shared, we meal planned for the week. We also went grocery shopping. So I went through that entire process as to how I came up with these meals. But now I want to show you how I meal prepped everything and then how I plan to enjoy it. I'm actually about to dig into breakfast right now. These are just some of the items that I prepared. Without further ado, let's get into the meal prep and then I'll show you how I decided to plate everything. So if you watched my most recent video where we planned these meals out, you know I had two goals for the week. One is to use up what I had on hand. Two is to get a good amount of protein in with each meal. And fortunately, I've been able to do just that. If you saw the video, I actually only spent $20 some odd at the grocery store buying essentials for all of these meals. But the great thing about breakfast today is I didn't need to buy anything because I already had the block of tofu in the fridge. I had some mushrooms and onions in the fridge. I had frozen kale. So that's a tofu scramble right there. Now, although I'm making 5 servings of this for the week, I do plan to switch up how I want to enjoy it. For example, today I'm just having it with some toast, some fruit, and one of the breakfast sausages that we made a few videos ago. But going forward, I also have some tortilla shells in there that I can add these to and have breakfast tacos. I have some avocado and bread, and I can do loaded tofu scrambled toast with avocado spread. The options are honestly endless, but again, I was able to use up what I have on hand and get a good amount of protein in to start my day. For lunch, I really wanted something refreshing, nutritious, somewhat familiar, but that also still allowed me to use up some of the items that I had. So I decided to make a cucumber, tomato, red onion, and fennel salad. Also added in some garlic, fresh parsley, lemon juice, red wine vinegar, a bit of olive oil, salt, and black pepper. Y'all, this salad was so delicious. When I took a bite, I was like, yes, yes, yes. I even just snacked on it a bit while I was cooking because it was that good. Now to go with this cucumber salad, I'm serving it with some arugala, falafel, black lentils, pickled red onions, and hummus. But I can't just keep the hummus original. I have to spice it up a bit. So I'm adding in some fresh herbs like parsley, cilantro, chives. I'm adding in some dried dill, lemon juice, salt, and black pepper. But this just takes original hummus to the next level. It's one of my favorite ways to doctor it up. Now, because this bowl is going to have a lot of flavor already, I didn't feel like I needed to do too much with my lentils. So I really just cooked those up with some onions, garlic, and better than bouillon, no beef base. Once those were finished cooking, I squeezed some lemon juice on top, added in the rest of those fresh herbs from the hummus, seasoned it with some garlic powder, black pepper, and Italian herbs. And that's all I needed to do. These were so delicious. Okay, now we're moving on to my pickled onions. So of course I started off with some red onions, and for this batch of pickled red onions, I'm going in with rosemary, garlic. I added in some salt, some dried dill, red pepper flakes, peppercorns, a bit of maple syrup, apple cider vinegar, and hot water. But when I was as I'm in the process of editing this and recording this voiceover, just watching me make everything in this video really just reminded me of the beauty of cooking and not necessarily following a recipe to a T. Like if you saw how I made the tofu scramble in this video, I probably make tofu scramble different every single time, just depending on how I'm feeling. Same for these pickled onions. Like if you go to a previous video, I probably made pickled onions 3 different ways, but it really just reminded me of just the beauty of getting in the kitchen and trying and just getting in the kitchen and making a recipe your own. But anyway, okay, so as I mentioned, I served this with some arugula. I added in that cucumber and tomato, fennel, red onion salad, as well as those black lentils and the air fried falafel. Those pickled onions were delicious, as well as the hummus. But I really enjoyed this and I'm looking forward to enjoying it this week for either lunch or dinner. And last but not least is one of my current hyperfixation meals, which is egg roll in a bowl. Y'all, I meal prepped this last week for a few days and it was so good. I was like, you know what? I can honestly eat this for the next 5 days. So here we are. It's essentially just a deconstructed egg roll. So you just add your source of protein, which mine for this meal is pea protein crumbles. I feel like a broken record talking about these crumbles, but they are so good. I'll link them in the description box if you want to give them a try. So I went in with red cabbage, green cabbage, carrots, some onions, garlic, and ginger. As far as the seasonings go, you can just use salt, black pepper, garlic powder, and maybe an all-purpose seasoning, but the flavor really comes in with the sauces. So the sauce that I used was coconut aminos, rice wine vinegar, and hoisin sauce. And this is a dish where you want to taste, or I guess cook to taste, and make it your own. So I'm gonna serve mine over some rice. I'm gonna top it with some green onions and sesame seeds, and then I just combined a bit of vegan mayo as well as a sweet chili sauce and drizzled that on top. I really enjoyed this dish and I'm actually looking forward to eating it for the rest of the week. So yeah, that's everything that I meal prepped this week. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it inspired you. Be sure to check the description box for recipes and product details if you are interested in giving this a try. And I will see you in a couple days for the next video.